Passion fruit.
Okay, this is my composter. Now the best way for that is to turn it. And somebody has to get a pitchfork in there and turn it. So organic papers can go in here, fruit, anything, leaves, etc. Leftover food scraps. Never put meat and oil in your composter, because then you draw rats.
People actually put meat in their compost?
People who eat meat, they just
In a garden? I don't know.
So we have a little can by the kitchen door where our food scraps go in, and then we just bring it out here and dump it like this. We also do like the trash things in there.
And it's growing up in the country.
And here is, I had my red worms. Of course, they've all gone down. That's what we use for worm poop. Because they've all gone down into the soil because I wasn't feeding them. But what you do with that is you put them in soil. You keep the soil a little moist. And then you just cover a little so it stays cool, because it really got hot here. And I think that's also what drove me in. A lot of people grow the worms in their house.
How do you get worm poop, though? I mean,
well, because as they eat the food that you give them, they poop.
Yep.
And you have
them
dozens of these worms.
In a certain space?
Huh?
You have them living in a certain space so that you can collect it?
That was for. They're going there. They're somewhere in the earth. And I use this to put the food on, like they like banana skins and stuff like that. You put it on there, they'll come up and eat and create poop. And they won't, they don't eat or live in their own poop, so you got to keep feeding them. So the poop keeps coming up.
So
and I'll show you
the
some.
poop rises, whereas now I'm trying to figure out.
Poop rises to the east.
So it's interesting. So the poop rises. My question was going to be, how do you make sure that when you take it out, that you don't take the worms out?
You can't always. Well, this is how some people do it. They put some food on there, get the worms up into that, and take them out, and then take out the poop. But you're always going to get a worm or two.
Okay.
Just like some people try to be very careful in their garden not to kill the worms, you know, when they garden.
Yeah.
But you can't always. This is the compost room, which is, as you see, twigs and leaves, etc., that have gone basically to dirt. Okay? So that compost there will be a little different. And what I would probably do is mix them. And hopefully, when you have, I used to have a composter that was round that you could turn. And that compost would be ready in 6 weeks. And so I need 2 of those again, so that when one is done, I can transfer and use the other one. And it's a lot faster than that process.
They take one like those plastic barrels, right?
Right.
Where they cut a hole in it and mount it, and they can
Just turn it around, right?
Metal's better than plastic.
Yeah.
So we used to have metal drums. In fact, the one I had, you know, I used to be a big Mother Earth news kind of person. So when we first got here, I bought one, you know, and then it busted out. So I need another one. These are going to be my strawberry patch. This is some strawberries here. This is all going to be strawberries here. And this is just going to be the compost that I'll be using for the garden. Over here were my sweet potatoes that Frost got. I don't know if I have any in it. They have big green leaves. I have 2 different kinds of sweet potatoes.
Do that again, Mama Maria. What you just doing? Because we got to get that moment on that camera. Go ahead, Mama Maria.
Dig down, because the sweet potatoes grow under the ground. And they can stay there until you take them out. They can stay there all winter as long as you don't disturb them.
So this is the example of a raised bed. Right.
Yeah.
So it's
And that's
not
because this
attached
ground
to
is
earth.
harder over here. We never used it before this year.
And also in the instance if your soil may be contaminated,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
You just
you
do
can
your
use
own compost and put it in there.
So this is a simple one. I just took some boards we had. You know, some people want it to look fancy, so they'll nail it together and have it look cute. One of our gardeners, we called her the Home Beautiful Garden. She had little urns around her garden with herbs in it, etc. She said she got tired of that. And this is my worm poop. The white is just because of the plastic. But this is worm poop, and what you do, you don't do it like the compost. You have to take it and just put it around your plants because it's very costly to do it by, but it's probably one of the best fertilizers. Worm poop is one of the best natural fertilizers.
Nice, pretty, good tasting food. I tell you. He like mixes his with water or something. I'm not sure how he does his, but he usually takes and pours his on.
You can do that. One of our friends called, he has compost tea.
That's it. That's compost tea. That's what he calls it. Compost
So
tea.
you can just put it in, put it in water with one of those little, sprinkler, hand sprinkler things, and go down. Try to make sure you really get it down to the ground so you don't waste it on the leaves above. And make sure it gets really saturated.